Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of our Capture webinar series. Today, we are diving into the Zurich release of ServiceNow Strategic Portfolio Management, and I will walk you through the most interesting and useful changes that can make a real impact in your daily work. My name is Attila Beregvari, and I'm a solution architect and delivery manager here at Capture. And today, I'm also joined by my great colleague, Junior Soma, who is our sales manager, and he will kick things off with a short introduction about our company and who we are. But before we get started, here's a very quick look at our agenda for today. As I mentioned, just a quick short introduction about us in the beginning. Then we will have a look on the highlights from the SPM Zurich release, just to see what is on our plate for today. Then we will have a dedicated demo session, a live demo session of the new features. And at the end, we will spare some time for the Q&A as well. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes before I hand it over to Junior. First of all, this session is being recorded and you will receive the recording afterwards. We will also share the slides with you and other useful materials as well. Your microphone and webcam is turned off during the webinar, so you can sit back and focus on the content. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the Q&A window anytime. We have my colleagues in the background as well, so they can answer your questions already during the webinar, and we will go through some of them at the end of the session as well. With that being said, I will hand it over to Junior now, who can tell a little bit about who we are and how we position about ourselves in the market. Junior?
Thank you, Bati. Hi, everyone. My name is Junior, as Bati mentioned. I'm located in Hamburg, Germany. I'm the sales manager of Capture or within Capture. And just one or two sentences about the offerings that we have or what we do. We are a specialized boutique partner for ServiceNow with the most experience in SPM, which is Strategic Portfolio Management, and EA, Enterprise Architecture. And we also have a deep knowledge of how to leverage the power of AI within the ServiceNow platform together with both elements. Also licensing, that's also something that we can support our customers with, as well as the maintenance and support of the platform, integrations, and so on. So if there's anything that you would like to talk to us about, feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I will try to connect you with our experts and get the most out of it for you. And then also maybe really quickly about the next slide, Bati.
Yes.
Yes. So as I mentioned, this is what we focus on or what we are specialized in. So we have a slide for you that you can look at after this meeting, where we have 3 of our standard offerings where we can support you, especially a SPM Smart Start and so on and so on. So if there's something that you would like to discuss in more detail, you know who you have to reach out to now. And I'm looking forward to having discussions with you in the near future. Back to you, Bati.
Thanks, Junior. Okay, so now let's dive into what the Zurich release brings us for strategic portfolio management. And for that, I've brought you a summary slide where you can see the evolution of recent releases. And what really stands out here is the progression. So earlier releases were heavily focused on strengthening let's say, the core areas, things like Project Workspace, Resource Management Workspace, portfolio and strategic planning. And over time, these have matured into really powerful and well-rounded capabilities. And now with Zurich, we are seeing a little bit of shift in the spotlight. And with the core features now being in a great shape, big improvements are happening in collaborative work management and AI-driven features. So the spotlight and the focus is mostly on these areas. But of course, ServiceNow is still adding valuable enhancements to project and resource management workspaces. So we will have a look on those as well. For today, we will cover these main areas. First of all, collaborative work management. Then we will check out some improvements in the project and resource management workspace. We will have a look on the new capabilities for the Now Assist SPM area. And finally, we will check out some smaller but still good quality of life improvements. And since our time together is relatively short, I will show you the major changes in more details in a live demo session. And after that, at the end, I will highlight some of the smaller but still useful improvements in our presentation. So don't worry, as I mentioned, you will get the recording and the copy of the presentation, so you can explore everything in more details afterwards in your own pace. All right, let's take a closer look at the major improvements first. As I mentioned earlier, the big innovation this time is really around enhancing collaboration and bringing agile ways of working into the collaborative work management module. For those who might not be familiar with collaborative work management or CWM for short, it is ServiceNow's modern workspace, basically, that brings every activity a team can work on within the platform. All kind of activities like project tasks, incidents, changes, agile stories, or even team-specific tasks, which by default don't exist in the everyday area of the system. So teams can really plan and track and collaborate seamlessly in just one single place without jumping between tools to manage the different areas of their everyday work. Let's see how it looks like in a live demo system. In order to do that, I need to share my other screen. And once you open up collaborative work management, you are presented with a screen of my work, which gives you a great overview about what is on your plate currently. You get a nice dashboard overview about the overall progress of your items, open items, overdue items, completed items, and basically a nice overview of everything what you need to deal with in a colorful interactive dashboard. But if you prefer a list views, it is also available to check out what you need to work on in the upcoming periods. Next to that, not only your work is manageable in the collaborative work management, but more like a whole team's overall work is manageable and doable in CWM. And in order to do that, teams can set up within team spaces so-called team boards for themselves. This is how a team board for the Acme asset team looks like. And the team board is basically a collection of all the different activities, tasks, work items that the team is currently working on. Some default task item types, work item types are available within CWM. These are the tasks, defects, stories, or epics, but with some little configuration already without the need of an admin, so teams can do these themselves. They can introduce custom work item types as well. So if they have to deal with documentation or maintenance work, that can also be brought to the board. And there is a great addition, and one of the biggest additions in the Zurich release for CWM is the support for connected work. And connected work, it is available on the top left corner. What it does, it basically lets teams to pull in any kind of existing records, informations, tasks from task-related tables all over the platform. So now it is possible to bring in, let's say, incidents, change requests, project CRs, any kind of records which are related from the task table directly into the CWM board. So teams can manage basically every kind of activity they have to deal with. This functionality is supported by filtering options, so teams can really decide or narrow down what they want to see on the board and only bring the relevant information onto the board for them. And once these connections are set up, it's basically a live connection with automatically refreshing data. That means if, let's say, a new incident or a change request is created somewhere all over the platform, and it matches the filter criteria and it becomes relevant for the team, then it is automatically popping up on the team's board, let's say. So with this new improvement and enhancement, this CWM board is basically really a one place for a single team to manage any and every kind of activities they have to deal with. And once these work items are configured and presented on these boards, teams can choose between different views how they want to see and plan and track and manage all these items. They have access to a nice, colorful, and interactive list view. Next to that, they can choose a Gantt view to basically check timeline and schedule related information. or if they prefer, they have access to a Kanban board where tasks can be managed in form of cards and on horizontal and vertical swim lanes. And next to these three already existing views, there is a fourth one, which is called sprint planning. This is another big and great addition in the Zurich release, available now. And I wouldn't call it just a new view. It's more like a brand new feature set or a brand new enhancement to generally support agile ways of working in collaborative work management. And if teams decides to utilize these features, they will see that it is capable of handling basically every need an agile team needs or requires to perform their agile work delivery. So let's quickly check out how it looks like. If we are navigating to the sprint planning page, first of all, teams get access to a manageable backlog listing all the items the team is dealing with. It's important to mention that not only stories are in the backlog, it's very similar to a unified backlog where basically all the items from the team's board can be managed and all the necessary information is available here to make informed decisions what they want to work on in the upcoming periods. One of the most important points is that teams can assign story points to all these work items. Again, not only just to stories, but any kind of work items. And this helps the planning of the upcoming periods pretty much. It's also possible for teams to set up sprints easily, basically with just a couple of clicks, and by defining the sprint duration, the capacity in story points, and the start and end date of a sprint, teams can define a new sprint. And if one sprint already exists, it's even easier just to quickly create another sprint in the hierarchy or in the timeline. So this is again a quick and easy way to manage sprint planning. Once a sprint is set up, it's easy and straightforward to move certain items from the backlog into the sprint. And if teams are doing that, they get immediate information about the overall workload and the capacity of a certain sprint. And if they decide the work is too much, then they can pull or move any kind of elements of a sprint into another sprint or even back to the backlog, all without too much clicks or anything, just dragging and dropping these items. And this is a nice and easy way to manage and plan a backlog and upcoming sprints. Once a sprint is completed, teams are supported with certain automations within CWM. They can decide to basically move the unfinished items either to the next upcoming sprint or back to the backlog automatically, so they don't have to handle them manually. And also, CWM is capable of creating a so-called retrospective board for the given sprint, which basically creates a new board, a new entry within the team's space in CWM, and displays all the relevant items which were unfinished and therefore needs much more focus in the upcoming sprint. So these kind of automations really help teams to deal with backlog and sprint management. It's important to mention that CWM is not only about task management, it's also about collaboration and how teams can share meaningful information with each other and how they can manage these informations. And therefore, they get access to a document management module within CWM. So they can set up folder structures, and within the folder structures, they can manage specific documents like marketing plans, product requirements, or even meeting notes from weekly sync-up meetings. And these are not just plain text, these are dynamic content documents, which means additional extra features are available in them. For example, it is possible to mention and tag users within a document, so they get notifications. It's also possible to link existing items from all around the board and the system into a document, which makes referencing and navigating much easier. And last but not least, if the Now Assist for collaborative work management is enabled and well configured, AI agents can now have access to the team board and these documents, and they can create tasks and other work item types automatically out of these documents. So for example, it's really easy to just turn certain action items into tasks on a team's board by the AI agents, and teams can then pick them up and work on them on the next sprint. So overall, all these changes make collaborative work management really powerful and an all-around tool for teams to manage their everyday activities, all within one place and without the need to navigate elsewhere. So I really suggest trying these features out. All right, moving on to another area, which is the project workspace. Let's check out what improvements do we have here. And the first big or major improvement I would call out is around planning, or more like replanning a project and dealing with resource assignments. Because now with the Zurich release, it is possible to sync resource assignments to project changes. What that means is that if you have, let's say, a project task with an already existing resource assignment, and that task is changing in time, so the project, let's say, is rescheduled, then previously, project managers had to manually deal with these changes and update the resource assignments manually all by themselves. But now they get an immediate notification. You can see it on the top side here, that resources are not synced. And not just a notification, if they want to automatically handle all these changes, they have the ability to, first of all, click this small icon, resources not synced icon on the top, and then the system will automatically sync and reschedule the resource assignments instead of the project managers. But if they don't want to do it all over the project hierarchy, this kind of action is also available on the task level, just by selecting realign assignments to task option. And basically what it does is automatically changes the start and end date and the characteristics of the resource assignment to match the new changes or the new setup in the project schedule. So this way, project managers don't have to deal manually with these kind of changes, and it helps them with replanning these kind of activities. Another great addition in the area of resource assignments is the ability to move a resource assignment, and especially moving a resource assignment without changing core characteristics of a parent project or a parent task. What does that mean? It means now it is possible for project managers to, let's say, just shift a resource assignment 1 week ahead in time without changing the originating parent task start date, end date, duration, or overall planned effort. So they don't have to worry about breaking the core characteristics and the core plan values. They can freely move resource assignments in time with this new feature. Moving on to another area of project management, and this time it's not just for projects, but it is easy to display here. We have a new value available in the investment type field called artificial intelligence. And this one is not just for projects. This is for basically any kind of investments, let it be epics, strategies, demands, all over planning items, all over a portfolio. And this gives you an ability to mark certain investments as AI, artificial intelligence related investment. And if you do so, these kind of items will appear in the AI control tower of ServiceNow. So organizations can really put heavy focus on AI related investments and track, plan, and manage them in one single place. And basically put focus on any kind of AI-related investments. Again, not just projects, but any other planning item types. Moving on to financials, because we have nice additions here as well in forms of how financials can be viewed and managed in the financials tab of the Project Workspace. Project managers can now choose from 4 different display modes. The first one is a forecast view, which was already there in the previous releases. And this view puts a focus on actuals for the past time periods and planned values for the current and upcoming time periods. And this is a great overview for projects to track how the project progressed over the time and what is ahead of us. But for organizations who likes to manage cost plans on a yearly basis, or who have a need to constantly change and replan existing values, especially in the past, then it was not possible on this view. But luckily, this problem is now solved, because there's 2 new views available, display modes available, the planned and the planned versus actuals view. And within these views, basically the planned costs are available, visible, and not just visible, editable for all past periods and current and future periods. So this makes rebalancing, replanning, and handling changes in financial aspects of the project much easier. And then there is a dedicated budget allocation view as well. It is for sure about managing, approving, requesting, and handling budgets of a project. So all on one single screen without the need to navigate elsewhere. So this is again a great addition to financial management. And at this point, I have to mention that this kind of detailed financial planning is not only available on a project level, but with a new improvement here in Zurich, now planning items can also have detailed financial planning. What does that mean? Within your portfolio, you can do such detailed financial planning, not just for projects, but demands, epics, and even other planning items. It looks like this, because currently on the screen I'm displaying demand, as you can see here, and there is a financials tab available already for demands. So if you require, you can do detailed planning on these kind of planning items, which make portfolio level budgeting and forecasting much easier and much more detailed. So this is a great new addition. And let's wrap up with some minor but still impactful changes in the area of Project Workspace. First of all, we got a new navigational bar for the resource management workspace. So with just one click of a button, it is possible to navigate into the resource management workspace and handle the project-related resources. And another great addition is around status reports, where project managers got the functionality of copying and duplicating status reports, so they don't have to re-enter manually all the information from scratch, but they can utilize existing status reports. So all in all, nice and impactful changes in the area of project management. Let's have a quick look at resource management workspace. Here we have a brand new dedicated dashboard for resource managers, displaying basically all kind of information and every information they need to do their daily work. And basically, this is now the single place of reporting and managing resources all within the resource management workspace. So really the intention was to bring in every and any kind of information a resource manager would need into just one screen. And I think ServiceNow did a great job. But if you feel like something is missing on the screen or you have some specific requirements, the good news is that this dashboard is built on the standard reporting engine of ServiceNow. So your administrators can make changes easily and just add additional information to this kind of dashboards. Another great addition to resource management workspace is the ability to manage operational resource plans already within the resource management workspace. So operational resource assignments were already available, so it's not a new thing, but they are now brought into the resource management workspace. So if needed, resource managers can easily do things like, let's say, assigning a special activity to a special group for a certain period of time. Let's say the IoT solutions team needs to be attending a training in the full duration of October in, let's say, 10% of their capacity. And this is already an approved operational resource assignment. So if with just a couple of clicks, a resource manager does this already within the resource management workspace, now the IoT solutions team is dedicated in 10% of their time into a training activity. Therefore, their overall availability will be decreased by this amount. So again, a nice addition that resource managers does not have to navigate elsewhere to do these kind of things. It is already available and manageable in the resource management workspace. All right, let's quickly get back to our presentation and continue with AI-related improvements. And yes, here we are. And of course, no ServiceNow release would be complete without AI improvements, and Zurich is no exception. First of all, we have a nice new functionality called Project Insight Emails. And this is where an AI agent can monitor changes in your projects, things like a task, a date, status change, and automatically create project insight emails out of them. The big win here is that you can send these updates not just to the project managers, but to multiple stakeholders at once. So that means faster alignment, less manual reporting, and just fewer delays in information delivery when something changes. Next, we have project document summarization. And here you are no longer limited to just one type of a summary. Instead, you can choose to summarize, elaborate, and shorten any kind of text, or even type your custom prompt to shape the output. Another really powerful addition is the automated breakdown of plans into stories. So if you are using epics in hybrid project management or in standard agile delivery, the AI agents can now help break down those epics into smaller and well-written stories. So this is not only saves time, but improves the standardization. And finally, Zurich also adds support for third-party LLMs. So this means now assist skills across SPM and CWM can run on providers like OpenAI, Anthropic, or Google's Gemini. Let's wrap up with some few minor enhancements in the area of strategic planning workspace, because we have some cool improvements here as well. First, consistent roadmap bar colors. So previously, roadmap colors were assigned on a rolling basis, depending on some attributes. But if an attribute changed, your colors could suddenly just shift, and you can no longer recognize what was on them. So this made this led to some confusions. And now in Zurich, colors are consistently tied to the same choice value across all of the portfolios and plans. And this results in cleaner visuals and easier comparisons. Next, we have unique icons for item level milestones. So instead of everything being represented by the same boring diamond icon, admins can now define up to 5 distinct milestone types with unique icons and state-based colors. So really to differentiate planning item level milestones already in a roadmap, making visuals and navigation much easier in an already crowded or big portfolio plan. And finally, improved quick filters. So quick filters were already available for users previously, but let's say the filtering options were limited. And now it is possible to filter for additional types like dates, choice fields, reference fields, and even string fields. This is a new addition in Zurich. And this makes filtering far more flexible and allows you to focus on the exact items you need. So taken together, these are small but quality of life improvements that make the strategic planning workspace much faster, much clearer, and easy to use for everyday portfolio planners. And with that being said, thank you very much for your time and attention. And now it is time for, I would say, a couple of questions. Let's see if we have any unanswered ones. But if we have too many, we will also answer your questions offline and send out the recording and the materials with the answers in them. So I will just check out our Q&A box quickly. And let's check this one. Would you recommend the use of CWM sprint planning in addition or instead of agile development? Actually, this is a great question because it is now up to debate, I think, for everyone. And the recommendation is to, first of all, visit your use cases and do a quick comparison of what can be done in agile development and what in CWM sprint planning. But actually, our experience is that most of the simple use cases can be covered in CWM sprint planning. So switching completely to it it makes sense, especially given the fact that the agile development 2.0 is being deprecated and no longer supported. So this is exactly why the CWM sprint planning is a great addition, because it solves the problem of not supporting anymore the all agile ways of working. Yes, the recording will be posted. Someone asked about that. And I see a couple more questions, which we will answer offline, but we have 2 minutes left, and I would like to ask my colleague Junior to quickly wrap up the session. So please, Junior.
Thank you very much, Bati, for the very well-prepared and insightful presentation. And if you guys have any other additional questions around the presentation or would like to talk to us in general about anything that might come up in terms of SPM or ServiceNow, then always feel free to reach out to us. There's a slide that you can see which you will also get when we send out the full presentation, where you see information to our websites and LinkedIn and other upcoming events. And most importantly for this session, in the middle, you find a QR code and link to our questionnaire. So please feel free to fill that one out, give us some feedback, let us know where we can improve or where we can help. And also make sure to let us know if you would be interested in us contacting you, or I will reach out to you guys. We can do it either way. And also, yeah, with the presentation that we will send out, we will give you also some links to other resources that you can use. And yeah, thank you very much again, everyone. Thank you very much, Bati. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone. You can see our contacts on the slide. If you want, I would suggest reach out to us in basically with any kind of topics. I'm happy to answer questions offline. So please feel free to write questions to my email address. Let it be technical or more like advice related on how to approach next steps in trying out these kind of functionalities. And if you need some more detailed demonstration or even more deep dive into certain areas, you can also contact us because we can arrange that for you. With that being said, I would like to thank everyone's time for today and wish you a nice rest of the day. See you next time. Bye.